let me give you an example. 20 years ago or so, if you are in some office building, right, doing a corporate job, for you to take a print, you'll still be walking across the room, take a print, store it, scan it somewhere. And if you are Mr. Samsung or Epson, whoever, the printing manufacturing businesses, what happens in the boardroom? You're thinking about making smarter, faster printers. But someone thought about this problem from the outside of the printing industry and solved that with a piece of software. That, we call it e-signatures. So you don't have to store, everything is on the cloud, saves your real estate space and all of that. So that's a very good example from the outside perspective. And because you highlighted that I'm an outsider, which I have no knowledge of aquaculture, except for seeing emerging technologies, or the lens of emerging technologies, seeing the applications and how we can actually penetrate into various industries. I'm just going to give a quick background, if you don't mind. I was an outsider to the mobility industry. Mobility, I meant electric vehicle and software and etc. It was Mr. Tim Hurley, the former owner of Aston Martin, that got me into the industry purely because of the outside perspective. And that's the same thing with being a member of European Senate, or even the AI and physical AI. But my relationship with aquaculture only came about like 3 or 4 months ago when Ivy came about and talked to me about, leveraging AI in this industry. So initially, I didn't have the bandwidth to think about this, but then we sat down and worked through the use cases, and we did enough to understand, okay, there may be some application there, but let me tell you something. Earlier this morning, we talked about some level of food security, local consumption. We talked about increasing production and all of that, right? But as of any industry, democratizing information into normal person's hand is key to advancing any industry, right? So what do I mean by that, okay? You already have immense amount of knowledge and the scientific data from universities, maybe from IIT and Sterling University and etc. So you do have a great amount of research. You can't expect a farmer to read all of this and make the right decision, right? So that's why the power of AI comes into effect. So how do you simplify that? So if you're asking a specific question that has relevance and the timely assistance needed, how do you deliver that piece of information so that you can act upon? And that's something we looked at, okay? So I think it's like 200,000 farmers in India. So now imagine any farmer, despite where you are, being able to have a tool in your hand and gain that instant perspective, instant insight that you can act upon. That's the starting point. But then you have the IoT devices, which is setting the stage for physical AI. So what do I mean by physical AI? So the AI currently, what you have on your phone, it just sits on your phone. Physical AI understands gravity. It can work with space and gravity. Okay, that's a report we put out, and that's why we got a lot of traction and had this conversation before. Now, to answer your question very quickly, this industry is ripe for disruption. And I think, the drivers of disruption, of course, is the market forces and technological advancements. But do we have enough will and initiatives that actually take the farmers with you to the next level? And that's a big question. And the answers won't come from the outside on this space. So it's, you just create something and put it out, and then let the market react to it. That's my perspective.